This is my review of the TROND power adapter. So first off, it's relatively small, but it has a lot of connections on it. So on the very top, there are 4 grounded ports, and then on either side, you can have 4 sort of regular outlets. And you can see that this one is a little bit longer than this one, so it supports the sort of like polarized plugs. So it's not as good as like a specific ground, but those ones will only plug in a certain way for the adapters that support it, and it's kind of like a poor man's grounding effect. Not required, but it's kind of a nice thing to see. Then on the bottom end, we've got 3 USB-A ports, and we've got 1 USB-C. On the bottom here, we've got 4 little rubber pads. They don't stick out as much as I would like, but it still will keep it from sliding around a little bit. And then optionally, you can mount this on a wall or something else just by putting a nail in these 2 spots and then kind of like sliding it in. So that's kind of a nice addition. And it has a angled plug, so this is quite nice. So when you plug it into the wall, it won't take up 2 outlet spots, and it's very skinny. So you can put this behind like a couch or something else, and you won't have to worry about it taking up too much space. So like, for example, my desk in my office is right against my wall. So if it was sticking out like that, kind of limits how close it can actually get to the wall. But this, I mean, it's probably about half a centimeter, maybe a centimeter away from the wall that it will need to be. So quite nice to see. Another nice addition is it has a Velcro tie that's on the plug. So if you're not requiring the entire length of the cable, you can just roll it up and kind of tuck it away, and then use the cable to keep it all together. And last, on this side, it has a power button, so you can turn it on and off, which is also quite a handy feature. The one thing I should mention though is if you're trying to pull this out of the wall, because there isn't that much space, you just have to be a little bit careful that your fingers don't accidentally slip when you're pulling it out, and then touch the ends. I've done that before, not on this particular one, and it's quite a shocking experience. And there are 2 little lights on it. One indicates that the surge protection is available, and then I believe this white one is just to indicate that it currently has power. Testing out the USB-A, you can see that it doesn't support any of the additional charging protocols like QC 3.0 or power delivery or Samsung. So it's pretty vanilla, so you're not going to get a lot of the sort of faster charging options out of this adapter. You're probably better off just plugging in your own adapter here if you want to get fast charging out of your device. Same story when testing out the USB-C port. It doesn't support any of the sort of additional charging protocols, not too surprising. Testing out the USB-C port with a load tester, I managed to get it up to 5 volts at just at about 3.5 amps, so that's almost 18 watts, so that's pretty good. And that's basically what it advertises as well. It actually says that it only does up to 3 amps, but it seems to be able to handle up to 3.5 without any sort of problem. If you go much beyond that, like 3.7, it will just stop working. And as advertised, there's a bit less power coming out of the USB-A port. It says it'll do a maximum of 2.4 amps, and I even went a little bit beyond that, and it still is running at the 5 volts. So it seems to be able to handle that reasonably well. There wasn't sort of any issues there. So overall, I would say I'm reasonably impressed with the device. It's very compact. It's got lots of connectivity options. It's got the surge protection on there. The USB ports may not handle things like fast charging, and you're not going to be able to like charge your laptop with it, but I certainly wouldn't expect that for this price range. And it's currently retailing for about $30 Canadian.
Okay, so here's this extension cord. I really like it, but There's a bit of a security concern. We'll talk about that later on. So first, let's take a look at the build. This is thick plastic. It has a good weight to it. I feel it's pretty well built. There are 4 3-prong outlet in the front. All of them are very tight, so when you connect something to it, it holds it very securely. On the side there is 2 2-prong here and the same thing on the other side. So we have 8 sockets in total. They are very well spaced, so it's very easy to connect AC to DC converter. Everything fits just perfectly. On the front we have 1 USB-C and 3 USB-A. As a side note, on the USB port I measured a maximum of 14 watt. This is still enough to charge your phone and even a tablet. Not enough for a laptop. If you're used to charging things at high speed, this won't do. As the current increases, there's a significant drop in the voltage. The current that I measured goes from 0 amp all the way to 3.6 amp. I think above 3.7 it started to get a bit unstable, and the voltage drop from 5 volt all the way to 3.6 volt. And at the back we have one switch to turn the extension on and off, and we have the extension cord. At the bottom we have our information about the disc. Notice that there is a FCC and a RO certification, so for interference and hazardous material, but no UL certification. This is the cord. It's 3 conductors side by side, which makes it thin and flat. However, looking at the gauge of this cable, I would not trust this to be able to hold 1440 watt. This is what it says that this extension is able to support, but looking at this cable, I would not trust that. And here's the plug. It's called Ultra Flat. It's 11 millimeter thick. I have other that are identical. I don't have any that are thinner than this. If you need to place this behind some furniture, it's perfect. Overall, I like it. I just make sure that I don't draw too much power from this extension. Hopefully this is helping you out. Thank you very much for watching.